Hey everyone, this is Ankita Mallick here back again with another video. This is again a very simple makeup look which is very easy to create, and I have used just one eyeshadow on the eyes for this look. So to know how you can create this look for any upcoming occasions, please continue watching. Starting with a clean face, I am taking the Nykaa Skin Potion Glow Boosting Facial Oil and applying it on my face so that my face gets well moisturized and stays hydrated underneath the makeup. Especially if you are going to wear a matte foundation, then make sure you hydrate your skin properly before applying the foundation. Next, I am using the Colorbar Flawless Finish Primer on my face just so that it creates a smooth base for the application of the foundation and also holds my makeup long for the entire day. Now this primer has the moisturizing properties, so I applied just a facial oil before the primer. Now I'm taking the L'Oreal Paris 24-Hour Infallible Matte Foundation in shade 105 Natural Beige, and also the Maybelline New York Fit Me Foundation in shade 330 Toffee, and mixing both the shades. As the L'Oreal Paris foundation is a shade lighter than my skin tone, I always mix it up with the Maybelline Fit Me darker shade to make it match my skin tone, and I'm applying it on my face, and using a damp beauty sponge I'm blending it all into my skin. The best thing about using a beauty sponge to blend your foundation is it soaks up the extra foundation and gives you a skin-like finish. That's the reason I always prefer using a sponge rather than a foundation brush. But if you want me to create a full face of makeup look using the makeup brushes, even for the foundation, then let me know in the comment section below. Now after dabbing the beauty sponge on my face, whatever foundation was left on the sponge is what I'm using on my forehead. No extra foundation for the forehead because you tend to sweat around that area, so make sure you apply the least amount of foundation on the areas where you sweat. So I did not apply any foundation under my eyes because I'm going to double conceal it. So next I'm using the Maybelline New York Define and Blend Brow Pencil, and first with the help of the brow brush I'm setting all my brow hairs in its place, and then using the pencil end I'm filling in my brows with it. And again using the brush, I'm running it over my brows again just to spread the product evenly on my brows. Next, I'm taking the LA Girl Pro HD Concealer in shade Pure Beige, and I'm applying it on my eyelids just so that it cancels out the darkness I have on my eyelid. And I'm using my damp beauty sponge to blend it perfectly around my eyelids without letting it settle on the crease lines. I'm taking the Maybelline New York Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in shade Light Medium, and using another clean damp beauty sponge I'm setting my eyelids to avoid the concealer to settle in the crease line, also making a smooth base for the application of the eyeshadows. Now that we are done with the eye makeup base, I'm taking the Wet n Wild Rebel Rose Color Icon Eyeshadow Quad in Bed of Roses, and I'm picking up this shade right here and applying it around the outer corner of my eyes. Now to get least amount of pressure, always hold the brush towards the very end and blend your eyeshadows, which will also help you in getting proper control to gradually build up the intensity of the colors on your eyes. Now before moving any further, I want to give you few basics on the eye makeup. This part of your eyes is called the outer corner, where you use the darker shades. Now when you half open your eyes, you can see a curved line which is called the Crease Line. Now the area below your crease line is obviously called the eyelid. And this is called the inner corner of your eyes. Now the lighter shades are always applied around the inner corner of your eyes, and the darker shades are always applied around the outer corner, and also on the crease line that gradually fades the more closer you go towards the inner corner. Now I'm applying the shade that I picked around the outer corner of my eyes in a circular motion, which helps in getting a well blended finish to the eye makeup. So always use circular motion around the outer corner and the edges to perfectly diffuse the shadows around the corners. Now I'm blending the shadows on my crease, gradually taking it towards the inner corner of my eyes. So you can see on the crease I am using back and forth motion to blend the shadows, gradually taking it towards the inner corner. And notice the more closer I move towards the inner corner, the less the intensity of the color gets. So always keep in mind, even if you use a darker shade, apply it so as it looks intense around the outer corner and gradually fades towards the inner corner. I'm also applying the same shade on my eyelid as well, but with a very light touch of the shade. Now I'm using a thin blending brush and I'm picking up the same shade and applying it around the outer corner and on the crease line, just to deepen it up a little bit more. I'm using a thin brush to make it more precise on the crease line. You can notice the difference that it makes looking at both the eyes. So I'm repeating the same thing for my other eye as well. Next I'm picking up this shade and I'm using a flat angled brush like you can see, and what I'm doing is slightly deepening up the outer corner of my lower lash line. Now there's two reasons to do this. If you don't want to wear a liner, then you can do this, but here I'm not creating a winged liner kind of a look, but I'm keeping it just to the outer corner, and this also helps in enhancing your lashes. It kind of adds a fake length and volume to your lashes. Next I am taking this Coloressence gel liner. Now this step is again optional. If you want to wear a liner, then you can go for it above the darker shade, which will kind of give you a smoked out liner effect. Now we are not completely done with the eye makeup, but let's go with concealing my under eyes. So I am taking the Elegant concealer and applying it on my under eyes. And blending it with the damp beauty sponge. Now after this I'm going to use a second concealer which is of a lighter shade to highlight my under eyes. So I'm taking the Maybelline New York Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer in shade Light, and now about this concealer, it's a full coverage concealer, so it is quite thick in consistency. And what you need to do is take it step by step. So I'm applying it on one side of my under eyes, little bit around the inner corner and around the outer corner and on my cheek, and then blend it immediately using a damp beauty sponge. Do not let it sit for a while because then it gets difficult to blend in. So always go with one eye first and then the other eye. Now talking about how to blend this concealer, do not drag the sponge in order to blend it because the concealer is thick. So if you drag the sponge, that will completely disturb your makeup base. So to avoid that, you need to just dab the product on the exact places you applied the concealer with a very light hand. So now I'm applying it under the other eye in the very exact way and blending it with the beauty sponge without letting it sit for a while. Next, I also want to highlight my T-zone a bit, so applying little bit on the bridge of my nose and on the center of my forehead, just a little bit, and on my chin. and again blending it quickly with the beauty sponge. That's how you need to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. There is always a way to apply a product to make it work on your skin. You just need to find it out considering the kind of texture and consistency it has. Next, to set the concealer that I have applied, I am taking the Maybelline New York Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder and setting my under eyes and also the T-zone area, because these are the places where the makeup easily gets disturbed because of the sweat. So you need to set it properly with a loose powder because it's very light and also mattifies those areas. Now that we are done with setting the base, I'm gonna complete the rest of my eye makeup. So I'm taking this shade again and I'm blending it out just around the outer corner of my lower lash line. Okay, that is it. The same on the other eye. Next, I'm taking this shade again and slightly applying it around the outer corner. Not a lot because I don't want it to cut the previous shade. Now for the mascara, I'm taking the Maybelline New York Falsies Lash Lift Waterproof Mascara, and before that I'm curling my lashes with the Lash color. And then applying the mascara on my upper lashes. Now I'm taking the Rimmel London Waterproof Eye Definer and applying it just on my waterline. Kajal always gives you that Indian touch to every makeup look, and that is what I love about Kajal. I'm also applying the kajal on my upper waterline. You must always do this as it kind of covers up any gap close to your lash line in case you see any after applying your liner. Next, I am taking the Wet n Wild Mega Length Waterproof Mascara for my lower lashes, and I always use this because it has a very thin wand which makes it easier to apply the mascara on the lower lashes. Now I'm taking the Wet n Wild Contour Stick in shade Oaks on You and contouring my face. And also my nose. And with the help of a beauty sponge, I'm blending it on my skin. Make sure you don't drag the product to blend it, instead just dab the sponge on your skin so that it does not disturb your makeup base, and gently push the product into your hairlines to give it a natural finish. The trickiest part is blending the contour cream on your nose because the base on your nose gets disturbed even with the slightest rub. So do not blend the product by dragging the sponge. Just dab it on the exact places you applied the product to avoid budging the makeup base. Now I'm taking the L'Oreal Paris Glam Duo Bronzer and again just dabbing the brush with the product on the places I applied the contour cream, just to kind of set the product so that it doesn't budge during the entire day. It's a personal choice, that's just what I feel like doing and it's completely up to you. Next, I'm taking the Biotic Natural Makeup Matte Blush in shade Sun Kissed Tan and gently dabbing the brush on the apples of my cheeks and taking it all the way up on my cheekbone. It gives you that natural blush finish to your makeup, so always take your blush up towards the temple. Now for the highlighter, I am taking the Maybelline New York Master Chrome Illuminating Metallic Highlighter in shade Molten Gold, and I am applying it just above my cheekbone and also around the temple. Now why you need to highlight these areas is because when any source of light hits your face, it gives your face a subtle glow and shifts the focus on those areas. So I'm also applying the highlighter on the inner corners of my eyes. That helps in your eyes look more open. And also highlighting my brow bone. Now this helps in enhancing the shape of your brows. That's why you need to highlight your brow bone. Next, I'm also applying the highlighter on the bridge of my nose and little bit on the tip to make it look sharp. And you can also apply a little bit of the highlighter on the cupid's bow. So that is it. Now to complete the makeup, I am taking the Faces Canada Weightless Matte Lipstick in shade Subtle Mauve and using a lip brush to apply the lipstick on my lips because I wanted to reduce the intensity of this shade and make it look very subtle on my lips. And this is the complete makeup look. Now I'll just keep my hair styled like this, and for my ears I'm gonna wear this little golden jhumkas I have because I wanted to keep it very simple and wearable for any occasion. So this is the final look. So that was it for today. I hope you really liked this complete tutorial on this simple Indian makeup look that is very easy to create and wearable on any occasions. Before you go, please hit the like button if you loved watching this tutorial and the makeup look, and share this video with your girlfriends, and also subscribe to my channel for more such detailed makeup tutorials and tips, and I will see you in my next. Bye!